What's up, fellas? Today I'll be going over the credit cards every college student needs in their wallets. Whether that be for building credit, earning cash back, travel hacking, 0% interest, or building and scaling your own business, and more, there's probably a card for you on this list. First thing that I want to get out of the way is that credit cards can be a very slippery slope that can lead you into financial debt that can be really hard to get out of. So be honest with yourself. If you're not the best with money, consider waiting until you build more financial intelligence, and then you can come back to this video. There's plenty of resources out there such as parents, books, YouTube videos, and even my videos. On the other hand though, using credit cards responsibly comes with so many benefits, such as building your credit so you can qualify for the best loan options, whether that be for a new house, car, or something else. You can also earn rewards on every purchase in the form of cashback or points, both of which come with their pros and cons, which I won't go into in this video. Lastly, and tread carefully with this one, you can leverage 0% interest cards to get by throughout the semester if you're not making enough money. And ideally, once the semester's over, either get a summer job or pick up more hours at your current job. I'd only recommend doing this if you absolutely have no money and know that you can pay it off in the allotted time. If you haven't clicked off this video yet, that means that you're serious about starting your credit journey, and I applaud you for thinking about that at such a young age. My name's Jason, and I'm a college student with 12 credit cards. And while that may sound crazy, I haven't paid a single cent in interest. And with the rewards I've earned from these cards, I've been able to get first class flights, book hotels, get a bunch of new tech such as cameras and TVs, all for free, just by leveraging my natural monthly spend, tuition, and even other people's spending. If that sounds too good to be true, well, it isn't. If you want to learn more about how to do this for yourself, consider subscribing. But with all that out of the way, it's time to go over the best credit cards for college students. I'll first be going over beginner credit cards that, although come with limited benefits, are much easier to get approved for, and they can help you not only build credit, but also build relationships with lenders. I'm going to preface with saying that I'm only going to highlight the main multipliers and benefits because mostly every single card earns 1% back on everything, and has some other not so useful benefits, so I don't want to hear you in the comments saying that I missed that. Thank you. Also, Chase Bank, which is a bank I'll be going over a lot in this video, has a rule called the 524 rule, where if you've opened 5 or more cards from any issuer in the past 24 months, you'll automatically be denied for any Chase card. And now for the first card I'll be going over in this video, the Discover It student card. Not too long ago, I was just like you, searching on YouTube for the best beginner credit cards and cards for college students. The number one card I saw people talk about was the Discover It student card, and that's for good reason. You don't need a credit score to be approved for this card, making it a super college student friendly option. It's also one of the only beginner cards that can earn you a substantial amount of cash back in your first year and beyond. This was the first ever credit card that I got, and in the first year of holding the card, I earned over $700 of cash back. This card has a secret sign bonus of $100 after spending anything within the first 3 months of account opening, and you can only get this through a referral. It also has an unlimited cashback match where after your first year of holding the card, Discover will match all the cashback you earned in your first year, basically doubling your return on spend. This card earns 5% in rotating categories that changes every 3 months, with some examples including grocery stores, restaurants, and gas stations. But on top of that, with the cashback match, you're actually earning 10% cashback on all these rotating categories, and furthermore, you're earning 2% back on all your purchases with the first year. So when I'm asked by any of my friends what card they should get to start building credit, I always say the Discover It card because in my opinion, there isn't a single other card that offers this much value for people with no credit. When considering the second card you should get, there's a bit more options to choose from. The first one I'll be going over is, in my opinion, the best earning starter card in the market, that being the Capital One Saver card. There's a couple reasons why you should consider adding this card to your wallet, the first of being the sign-up bonus. You can earn $200 after spending $500 in your first 3 months of account opening, offering a 40% return on that $500 spent, which is super powerful. On top of that, it has some great earning potential, with the card earning 3% back on grocery stores, dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services. Another great benefit of this card is that it has no foreign transaction fees, so when you're making purchases outside of the United States, you're not going to be charged any extra fees for that. So this is a great benefit to have for students studying abroad. The last thing I'll touch on with this card is that by getting it now, when you have little credit history, is a very smart move on your part, and that's because Capital One tends to not approve people with a ton of credit cards, so if you get in with them now, you'll probably have a better shot at getting another credit card with them in the future. This next card on the list is possibly one of the most talked about credit cards out there, and that's because it opens the door to travel hacking for beginners, that being the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. This is due to the card earning rewards in the form of points instead of cash back, although you can still redeem those points for cash back. Right now, this card has a sign-up bonus of $250 after spending $500 within the first 3 months of account opening, which is a 50% return on that $500 spend. But like I said, you're really earning points with this card, so the sign-up bonus is earned in the form of 20,000 ultimate reward points, which is Chase's point currency. A super basic explanation of why earning points can be better instead of earning straight cash back is because you can redeem those ultimate reward points for things such as hotels or flights for even more value than $250. You could in theory book a $500 flight for those 25,000 ultimate reward points, making those points worth double what the cashback rate would have been. And going along with this redemption, that would give you a value of $500 for that original $500 spent, giving you a return on spend of 100% for that sign-up bonus. Like I said, this is an oversimplification of the whole process, but hopefully it gave you somewhat of an understanding of the concept of points. Moving on to the earning multipliers for the Freedom Unlimited, this card earns 3% back, or really 3x points back on dining, drugstores, and also 1.5x points on every other purchase, making this card what people call a catch-all card, basically meaning any spend that's not covered by one of your card's multipliers can go on this card to earn an elevated rate of 1.5% or 1.5x instead of 1%, which is basically what comes on every other card. Also real quick, most people say 1x when dealing with points and 1% when dealing with cashback. Some honorable mentions when dealing with beginner cards is the Chase Freedom Flex, which earns 5x points on rotating categories similar to the Discover It, and it also earns 3x points on dining and drugstores similar to the Chase Freedom Unlimited. These two cards pair very well together because they earn in the same point currency. A couple other good ones are the Wells Fargo Autograph card that has a bunch of 3x categories with restaurants, travel, gas, transit, popular streaming services, and phone plans. And lastly, the Wells Fargo Active Cash that earns 2% back on every purchase regardless of category, making this card another great catch-all card. Next up, I'll be going over some travel credit cards that I recommend to any college student who wants to travel in the near future. With these credit cards, you can start your journey with travel hacking, being able to travel the world for as close to free as possible. If that's not your thing, I totally get it, and I have chapters down below where you can skip to the next section. The only real criteria I place for this list is that the annual fee should be less than $100. And yes, I did say annual fee. And that's because most travel credit cards come with a fee you have to pay every year to hold the card. Although not every travel card. But usually it does make sense to pay for that annual fee with the credits and benefits that come with the card, and at a minimum, the sign-up bonus in the first year. This first card is potentially the most amount of people's first experience with the travel credit card, and boy is it a great option. I'm talking about none other than the Chase Sapphire Preferred. This card earns the same ultimate reward points as the Chase Freedom Flex and Freedom Unlimited, and with all three of these cards together, you form the Chase Trifecta. And with the setup alone, you can have a very solid earnings potential. And the best part is that you can combine the points from each of these cards into one big pool of Chase points. What makes the Sapphire Preferred such an overpowered card is that it unlocks the door to transfer partners. Transfer partners are one of the best methods for redeeming points if you're trying to get the most value out of your points. This method lets you transfer your points earned from Chase over to hotel and airline points and miles. For example, you can transfer your Chase points over to Hyatt, which is a hotel brand, at a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning if you send over 10,000 Chase points, in return, you'll get 10,000 Hyatt points. And with those Hyatt points, you unlock the potential to book a hotel for $200, $300, or even more, making you get possibly 3 times more value for your points. As for the sign-up bonus on this card, it has an elevated offer of 100,000 Chase points after spending $5,000 in the first 3 months of account opening, giving you a 20% return on spend if you redeem for cash, and possibly a 40% return on spend or even more if you transfer out to transfer partners, giving you $2,000 or more in value. This card earns 3x points on dining, online grocery stores, and streaming services, as well as 2x points on all travel. This card does come with a $95 annual fee, but in my opinion, with the sign-up bonus and the ability to transfer out to transfer partners, is well worth it. It also has a $50 statement credit when you book a hotel through Chase Travel, which could potentially make your effective annual fee only $45. This next card is a card my buddy just got a few months ago, and he was able to book a round-trip flight completely for free with points left over. This is probably one of the most lucrative sign-up bonuses I've ever seen on a card, that being the Barclays American Airlines Red Aviator card. This card has a sign-up bonus of 60,000 American Airline miles after putting any purchase on your card and paying your $99 annual fee within the first 90 days. But if you just look up 70,000 mile Barclays American Airlines Red Aviator card, there you go. You can just click the first link and it'll give you an elevated offer of 70,000 American Airline miles for that same one purchase and paying that annual fee. This is an insane value proposition because you can buy 2 of these macaroni things on Amazon, which is about $1, and then pay your $99 annual fee, making for a total of $100 to make the math simple, and you'll get 70,000 American Airline miles. Let me just put that in perspective for you. If you just do a quick Google search, you'll find that American Airline miles are worth around 1.6 cents per point, meaning that those 70,000 miles are worth an average of $1,120, and you get that for a combined $100 with the annual fee and 2 macaroni packets. This means, and correct my math if it's wrong, that you get a 1,120% 0% return on spend. Some honorable mentions for travel cards would have to be the Capital One Venture Card and the Venture X. This is because similar to how the Sapphire Preferred works well with the Freedom Unlimited and Freedom Flex, the Capital One Venture and Capital One Venture X both pair very well with the Saver card, forming the Capital One Duo. This is because both venture cards offer transfer partners. They also earn 2x miles on every purchase and have a sign-up bonus of 75,000 Capital One miles after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months of account opening. And if you're looking to get some elevated experiences, the Venture X offers access to airport lounges. But that's as far as I'll go in this video with that. Now, being in college makes one thing very clear, at least to me, and that's that I don't want to work for someone else making them rich for the rest of my life. And I'm sure that many other college students feel the exact same way, especially you business majors. Getting business credit cards can help manage your business, separate business and personal expenses, help with cash flow, and also some of them offer 0% interest periods, which can be super helpful for college students trying to build something from the ground up. If you're not interested in creating your own business or getting business credit cards, that's no problem, and you can skip to the next chapter below. For those of you who are interested in getting business credit cards, let me just tell you that these cards have the highest sign-up bonuses you'll probably ever see on the market. Although that also means these cards have higher spending requirements. And secondly, you don't need to form a legal entity for this. You can apply for business credit cards under a sole proprietorship, and as long as you intend to earn income from the business within a couple of years, you can apply for these cards. As you've probably noticed by now, Chase Bank is all over this list, and that's because they offer so much value for low and no annual fees, such as this next card, the Chase Ink Unlimited. This card comes with no annual fee, a 0% interest period for the first 12 months, a 75,000 point sign-up bonus after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months of account opening. And yes, these points pull with the Sapphire Preferred and Freedom cards. And the only multiplier you have to worry about on this card is 1.5x on everything, making this such an easy card to get value from year over year, which for running a business is definitely a huge plus because you never have to think about it. Moving on to the next card is the brother of the Ink Unlimited, the Chase Ink Cash. Now, while this card does have more complicated multipliers, it has an easier to hit sign-up bonus, as well as elevated categories, which for the right business could earn you a lot of points. And when paired with the Ink Unlimited, you can earn even more value. This card also has no annual fee and a 0% interest period for the first 12 months. But where it differs from the Ink Unlimited is the sign-up bonus and multipliers. That's because the sign-up bonus is structured a bit weird, but it does allow you to hit that $6,000 spend a lot easier. That's because it's broken up into two parts. You first earn 35,000 points when you spend $3,000 in the first 3 months of account opening, and then an additional 40,000 points when you spend $6,000 overall in the first 6 months of account opening, making it the same 75,000 points you earn from the Ink Unlimited, but giving you an additional 3 months to hit that 6,000 spend. As for multipliers, this card earns 5x at office supply stores, internet, cable, and phone services, as well as 2x on gas stations and dining. So like I said, the Chase Ink Cash can earn you a lot of points quickly, and on top of that, you can pair it with the Chase Ink Unlimited to earn even more points. But moving away from Chase, the next best lender when dealing with business credit cards is American Express, or Amex for short, with one of their best credit cards in general being the American Express Blue Business Plus card. Although it has a much smaller sign-up bonus of only 15,000 points after spending $3,000 in the first 3 months of account opening, it has a higher catch-all multiplier of 2x on every purchase, which gives you an additional 0.5x when compared to the Ink Unlimited. Now, there are pros and cons to earning Amex points over Chase points, but it really is just up to personal preference. Just like the previous two cards mentioned, this card also has $0 annual fee and 12 months of 0% interest. Although, if you do plan on getting into Amex, I'd recommend getting a personal card with them first before a business card, such as the American Express Blue Cash Every Day. Because once you get a personal card with Amex, every other card you get with them will only be a soft pull, which is one of American Express's best selling points. Some honorable mentions for business cards are the Amex Blue Business Cash and the Business Prime card. These cards are great for you if you rather earn straight up cash back over points. The Blue Business Cash has a $250 sign-up bonus after spending $3,000 in the first 3 months. And the Business Prime card earns 5% back on Amazon purchases and usually comes with an Amazon gift card of either $100 or $200. And that's with no spending requirement. Moving on to 0% interest cards, there's a couple cards on this list that already come with 0% interest, so you could hit 2 birds with 1 stone if that's what you want. Like I warned you in the beginning, please be cautious when using these because the banks offer them to make money off of you, hoping that you won't pay your balance back. I care about each and every one of you and don't want you guys to get caught up with a bunch of debt. And also to motivate you not to get into credit card debt, every single time you pay interest on your card, you're indirectly paying for my free flights, hotels, and tech. And although I love my rewards, I really don't want you guys paying for it. But with all that said, here are some of the best 0% interest interest cards on the market. I'm going to run through these cards kind of quickly because there isn't much to go over. Every one of these cards has no annual fee, and you're basically just getting them for that 0% interest period. The Wells Fargo Autograph card has a 0% interest period on purchases for the first 12 months. The Chase Freedom Unlimited and Flex are both 15 months. The Capital One Saver is also 15 months. The Bank of America AmeriCard is 18 months. And the longest 0% interest period on purchases that I'm aware of is the US Bank Shield card with 24 months. Please look into these cards in more detail if you're actually considering applying for one of them, and again, proceed with caution. And now for a couple of special mentions that for the right person could offer a ton of value. Do you pay rent? Well, you can actually put your rent payments on a credit card and earn rewards on them with the Bilt MasterCard. This is because Bilt earns 1x on rent payments and waives the transaction fee, which to my knowledge is the only credit card that does that. This card has a $0 annual fee, and its only shortcoming is that because it earns points on rent, which no other card does, it doesn't have a sign-up bonus. But the alternative is letting all that rent spend go to waste, so I think it's worth it. This card earns 3x on dining purchases and 2x on travel. And one caveat with this card is that you have to use the card at least 5 times each statement period in order to earn points at all for any purchase, including rent. But overall, if you do rent, this card is really hard to pass up. It has some incredible transfer partners like Alaska Airlines and Hyatt, both of which can get you way over 2 cents per point. And also, that's a huge advantage because Alaska Airlines is part of the One World Alliance, which includes American Airlines. So you could book American Airlines flights with Alaska miles, which I've done in the past. Do you shop at Amazon? Yeah, me too. This next card on the list is the Chase Amazon Prime Visa card. Yep, another Chase card. This card earns 5% cash back at Amazon and Whole Foods. And the card comes with a sign-up bonus in the form of an Amazon gift card that's usually anywhere from $100 to $200, with it usually being $200 around Black Friday. And you get this gift card as soon as you're approved for the card with no spending requirement, similar to the Business Prime card. The only caveat of this card being that you need an Amazon Prime membership in order to get approved for the card, but doing a quick Google search, 80% of all Americans have a Prime membership, so chances are you probably have one too. And if you don't have Amazon Prime, you probably don't shop enough at Amazon for this card to even be worth it. So this whole time, I've been telling you about the cards you could and should get as a college student, but it's also important to know what cards to stay away from and what cards to avoid as a college student. First on this list being the American Express Platinum card. Do you want to pay $695 a year for a credit card? Most of you probably said no, and for the ones that said yes, either travel a lot to make this card worth it, or you're just dumb. Unless you travel monthly, this card is definitely not for you. I could maybe see a case for getting this card for 1 year just for the sign-up bonus and then either downgrading or canceling, but besides that, you really shouldn't be getting this card in college. You definitely shouldn't be getting this card just to flex that you have this card, because let's be real, anybody and their mom can get this card that has around a 670 credit score. It doesn't mean you're rich, and it definitely doesn't mean you're smart, because if you're using this card out in public, you're only earning 1x unless you're working on a sign-up bonus or an upgrade offer. And to be frank, you really shouldn't be earning 1x on any of your purchases when there's catch-all cards out there. But that's my rant for this card. Moving on, I'm going to tell you the card name and just give you a few words on why you shouldn't get it to speed up the process a bit. Chase Sapphire Reserve, negative effective annual fee. Amex Gold, forced spending habits. Apple Card, the only metal card that incentivizes you not to use the metal card. Store cards, terrible rewards in most cases. Any card from Credit One. I think that speaks for itself. So, you made it to the end of the video. I hope I've given you the full pictures of what cards to get and what cards to avoid as a college student. I encourage you all to do your own research on these cards and don't take my word as gospel. I'm just a guy with a camera and an opinion and maybe too many credit cards for my age. If you got any value out of this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing because just like credit card points and cash back, it's free. Apparently only 6% of you guys are subscribed, so let's try and get that number up a bit. If you want to see a recap of my journey getting my first 11 credit cards, consider watching this video next. I wish you all the best and I'll see y'all in the next one.